There is a planet. It is not remarkable by any cosmic measure. It orbits an unremarkable star in an unremarkable arm of an unremarkable galaxy. In a universe so vast that the very word vast becomes a kind of insult to the scale of the thing. And yet, on this planet, a species learned to look up. They learned to ask. They built enormous dishes of steel and wire and pointed them at the dark, like hands cupped around a mouth, calling out into an empty hallway. They have been calling for 70 years. Nothing has called back. This is not a story about whether they are out there. This is a story about what their silence means. To understand the silence, one must first understand the size of the room. The observable universe contains roughly 2 trillion galaxies. Our galaxy alone, the Milky Way, holds somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. And we now know from the patient work of telescopes like Kepler and TESS that nearly every one of those stars has planets orbiting it. In 1961, an astronomer named Frank Drake sat down and attempted something quietly extraordinary. He tried to estimate mathematically how many civilizations in our galaxy might, at this very moment, be capable of reaching out to us. His answer? Roughly 10,000. 10,000 civilizations in our galaxy alone. And yet, silence. In 1950, the physicist Enrico Fermi, a man who had helped split the atom, was eating lunch with colleagues when he paused, looked up, and asked a simple question. Where is everybody? It became one of the most haunting questions in the history of science. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Life on Earth arrived 3.8 billion years ago. Intelligence came far later, which means other civilizations, if they exist, have had billions of years more than us to grow, expand, and, presumably, notice we are here. So, where are they? In 1964, a Soviet astronomer named Nikolai Kardashev proposed a method for classifying civilizations. Not by their art, not by their philosophy, but by energy. Because energy, physics insists, is the one currency every living thing in the universe must spend. A Type 1 civilization commands the full energy of its planet. Every volcano, every ocean current, every photon that falls from its sun. Approximately 10 to the power of 16 watts of total mastery over a world. A Type 2 civilization commands the full energy of its star. To do this, they would need to build a structure, a sphere that fully encloses the star, drinking every erg of light it emits. A surface area 600 million times larger than Earth. Not engineering, architecture of a god. A Type 3 civilization commands the energy of an entire galaxy. To such beings, stars are resources, nebulae are raw material. The span of 100,000 light years is an afternoon's work. Now, where do we sit on this scale? We are a Type 0.73. Scientists project, using machine learning models of energy consumption trends, that by the year 2060, we may reach 0.75. We have not yet graduated from the most elementary class on the cosmic curriculum. And somewhere out there, statistically, almost certainly, civilizations have had billions of years more than us to study. Humans went from horses to the moon in 66 years. 66 years. Consider what 1 million more might produce. Here is where the story becomes something else entirely. There is a theory. It did not come from a laboratory, it came from a novel, Liu Cixin's The Three-Body Problem, but it is rooted in something cold and mathematical, game theory. The premise is this: every civilization in the universe needs resources to survive. Resources are finite, and no civilization can ever fully verify the intentions of another. Because even if they are peaceful today, you cannot know what they will become in 10,000 years. Therefore, the rational strategy, the cold, logical, evolutionary strategy, is simple. Stay hidden. And if you find someone else, eliminate them before they eliminate you. The universe in this model is not a welcoming neighborhood. It is a dark forest. Every civilization moving through it in silence, holding their breath, praying the leaves do not rustle, because the moment you reveal yourself, the moment you make a sound, something may look up.